You, Shaki. Outstanding performance. Outstanding. 2 assists.
Ubani ukorile abakhuleli. UHaaland.
No, he never
Ubani?
scored. It was the small boy already.
Oreli ukorile.
Kokoru Kehi,
Defender.
yeah, his first goal. And both of them, Sheki assisted. Brilliant. And then Doku scored.
Oh yes, Udoku ukorile the last one.
The last one.
Okay.
Which was like
I was busy washing him out at that time.
Yeah,
You
you did a good
But
decision.
now Chico iChelsea kathenge ithemba ukuthi izongibambela nina ngedroga nini.
Hello everyone, welcome to our EPL Global Reviews as we dive deep into it and look at some results and how some of the matches have gone.
Interesting
And
results.
yeah, so we are just almost at the end of the season, and the chase is still on between Manchester City and of course Arsenal, who is on top of the league. But Arsenal losing to Bournemouth at home.
Yeah.
What is that?
Disaster. Yeah.
It was very interesting to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about that as an Arsenal fan?
Hi everyone, good to be back. I hope you guys you still remember what I said a long time ago. It's a marathon. We're still going to see the three outcomes in a game of soccer: the win, the lose, the draw.
Absolutely.
Yes, we had a disaster outcome this weekend. We can't lose at home to a team like Bournemouth when we are wanting to win the league.
And you're on
That
top.
is why I'm saying that result was a disaster. I just don't know what happened because, honestly speaking, apart from the result, the game itself, did we impose ourselves? Did we dominate the game? Did we create chances in such a way that we wanted to score? Definitely not. So I'm not convinced about how we performed in terms of expressing ourselves,
Sure,
in terms of dominating the game, playing at home.
sure.
Fair enough. Poganasha, yeah, I take it. I don't know whether the guys, it's because of the game that they played on midweek,
Yeah.
the Champions League against Sporting. And I don't know whether their minds again are on the game second leg, which is at Emirates on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, during the week.
Yeah.
Then again on Sunday, it's the big one against Manchester City. So you can see the stake against Arsenal.
Yeah,
All that we need to see from Arsenal right now,
yeah.
show yourself that you're worthy to be champions. This is one of the testing times that Arsenal has ever come across.
Absolutely.
More so against what we call Manchester City, that is now in the FA Cup, in the league. So they are off the Champions League, so which means they are off playing midweek games. So the big test is on Arsenal. They should prove themselves in terms of they being a cup material, or should I say a league winning material.
Yeah.
Number two, remember what I said in the previous episodes that I said we've made some good buys.
Absolutely.
And then those good buys are supposed to be the ones that are taking us forward in terms of when you've got players injured, when you've got players suspended, you shouldn't be having a squad where we lose against Bournemouth.
No, absolutely. But you remember I mentioned something the other week which you disagreed upon, and I still think it still holds a lot of value, or should I say rather, there's so much truth in it, or it's an important factor that looking in the past, Arsenal have lost in the Premier League. Well, not the Carabao because he also, but the FA Cup and the Carabao.
Yeah.
So getting knocked out of those competitions, and it was not an easy thing to swallow. In as much as it was just, you're still on Champions League, you're still on top of the league, on the
Yeah.
Premier League, but at the same time, that does something psychologically. That does
Yeah.
something on the
Yeah.
players, their confidence and all of that, because also those matches are often used to find what works and what doesn't work.
Sure.
And to see who to substitute, who to rest. At the same time, you of course you'd want to win. Of course you'd want a cup.
Yeah.
You don't compete for fun.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though I over sort of like I could see the damage that could possibly happen on the games after. Obviously, they won the Champions League.
Yeah.
But with Bournemouth, you can see that Arteta tried something different
Sure.
because of the results.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, it's not a lose. Is not just a lose. I lost the game.
Sure.
But obviously, you want to make some changes. You want to see who you can start. You want to see from the players that were started the match and who could potentially start again, who's on
Sure,
form and all
sure.
of that. Those kind of matches, they help you to detect that. So I could tell that we're gonna get more tactical, but I watched the game and I saw Eze not attacking as much, which was very strange. I saw him more in the middle field. I saw him more. There were times where it would be a corner or a free kick, but he'll be maybe the fourth man or
Yeah.
almost the last man, and I didn't understand what was going until the last minute where they're losing the game,
Yeah.
and everybody was obviously attacking with everything they've got,
Yeah.
which was strange. So, but obviously you can see that there've been some changes that have been made, or
Yeah.
he's trying to do something.
But to me, fact is, you've got professional players. Every time when you get into that game, into that field, prove to the supporters that have wasted their time, we have spent their time coming into the stadium, we have paid to watch a good game.
Yeah.
So which means no matter who you field on that day, prove that you are a professional.
Yeah.
Don't hold back.
Make it worthwhile.
That's number
yeah.
one. Yes, number one. That's number two. As I said to you, you had a case where Arsenal had to compete into 4 competitions at the same time.
Absolutely.
We haven't won anything in the past 10 years. How then do you begin to talk about the quadruple?
Yeah.
That is why I said, losing those 2, your Carabao, your FA,
Yeah, FA Cup. Yeah.
it's a blessing in disguise for Arsenal. Carabao, for example, we are in the final against Manchester City, which was a good thing. The team that we lined up for the final, giving your Kepa and the other guys, it was a matter of saying, I believe and trust in you. Just go there, express yourself, see to it that you are worthy to be part of the squad in the future. That is the next year.
Yeah.
Fair enough, we lost. It's okay. Because to me, these are not your major cups or major competitions. But when you are now left with the league
And the
and the Champions League, to me, if I was to say, Arteta, win one of the 2. If you don't win one of the 2, or if you don't win any, don't talk about renewing your contract. Just write a letter, resign.
But I mean,
That's a fact, because the thing is, how many years has Arteta been there? If you can fail to win any of these 2, more so with the E-League, to be honest with you, remember where Manchester City started. You started very scrappy.
yeah.
And out of that, I said to myself, if this is how Manchester City starts, and if this is how Liverpool starts, therefore, all of these things, they point to one thing. Arsenal, this is your chance.
No, absolutely.
You can't then begin to fluff it
Absolutely.
right at the end.
Absolutely.
So hence I'm saying,
But again, no. Let me give you a chance. To
hence I'm saying, if Arteta does not win one of these 2, please Write a letter and not go to the office and negotiate the contract.
But man, I wouldn't say it must go to that extent.
It should.
Because I mean,
For him, it's now. No, it's now or never. It's now or never.
Yo, guys,
If it's not now, it will never happen.
it's not necessary.
Yes.
It is quite intense. It's very, very intense. I understand. But at the same time, my argument is, look, Premier League is very competitive.
It is.
And
It is.
again, to compete at that level, I think
Yeah.
for me, losing at the Carabao and FA Cup,
Yeah.
for me, it's yes. I agree with you when you say partially when you say it was a blessing in disguise.
Sure.
However, it's to have played for so long and to reach to the finals.
Yeah.
It means there's been so much that has been invested
Good.
on the squad.
Yes.
They probably are tired.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably traveling and they're doing that. And
Yes.
it's a lot.
But remember, you have to manage your squad.
Absolutely,
Squad management.
absolutely. At the end of the day, you've got 22 players. You know, at the end of the day, you're not gonna get an extra 5 because
Sure.
you've been competing so
Yeah.
hard in multiple competitions.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. You
Sure.
still get the same rule still applies
Sure.
to you like everyone
Yeah.
else. But now I'm yeah. But again, man, I don't like the idea, especially in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the idea. I know it's very competitive, which makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, and maybe this is like a slight off topic, the Arsenal and Chase and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that sometimes they put so much pressure on the managers, so much that like I don't know. Like I feel like for me it's not fair to a certain extent, because now if you're saying to me, Arteta, you couldn't win the league, but again at the same time, the same coach has to make sure, or let me rather say, is responsible for 22 players.
Yeah.
Emotionally, physically,
Yes.
make sure that they are motivated, they are
Yes.
ready for the next game.
Yep.
They're managing their clicks. There's so much that gets involved.
If Pep can be able to do that in the previous seasons, if Pep this season was able to rebuild in Manchester City this season and wins the league this season, Pep is going to win the league next season. That is why I'm saying. That is why I'm saying for Arteta, it's now or never. Because Pep, if I go back to when Pep started building,
City,
rebuilding City this season, that is why I'm saying
And bringing in new players.
take advantage of that, of which we did by becoming number one for occupying the top spot in the league.
Yeah.
But if Manchester City could overtake Arsenal now and win the league, when Pep has started rebuilding Manchester City this season, definitely next season Pep is going to win the league, so we know where. That is why I'm saying it's now or never. But again, go back to what you were saying in terms of, as a coach, you have to manage your squad. You manage your squad because you begin to look at the mileage in terms of those players because of their involvement in all of those competitions. That is why a team like Arsenal have a bigger pool of players, because you want to compete in each and every competition. You are unlike West Ham. We are unlike Wolves, who begin to say, let's prioritize the league
Let's
over
make sure we
others.
don't get relegated.
Let's prioritize the league over others. So you, as an Arsenal coach, you've got a bigger budget by players. You've got a bigger squad. Your technical staff is also big in terms of assisting you in terms of the physical fitness, in terms of the players that you're rehabilitating coming from injuries. Again, psychological aspect of the game, which is very important, which to me, it looks like the game against Bournemouth, something psychologically was not right done in terms of the players.
Absolutely.
More so because you are talking about Eze, who was not expressing himself too much. Fair enough, we do have injuries. We've got injuries. Saka is not in. You've got what we call Odegaard again. He was not. He didn't travel again. Then the next thing that we begin to understand is if, therefore, in terms of Eze, is he saying if I commit myself too much and I get injured, therefore, what happens to the squad? It's getting thinner and thinner. When we've got the Champions League that we are playing on midweek, that you've got a big game against Manchester City in the weekend. Therefore, it begins to work in psychologically on your players. Therefore, you need your psychologists that can come in and begin to psych up your players. So, as a coach, these are the things, the aspects of the modern game that you have to be aware of. Then see to it that your team, when it goes out there, it performs to the maximum. When you are playing at home against Bournemouth, your 3 points is yours because Manchester City is here on the tail.
With the game in hand.
With the game in hand.
But also with the form they are now, because it's insane.
Because to me, in terms of preparing for the game against Manchester City, for us Arteta, win against Bournemouth, go to Etihad and play a draw. You're frustrating Manchester City because you're still maintaining a 9-point gap. Because to me, that was that's how I was going to approach all of these things. You win your Bournemouth, you're still keeping a 9-point. You go to Etihad. If you come back with a draw, you have won because you frustrated Pep not to get maximum point, not for you to lose maximum point. So you're still maintaining that gap. But now the stakes are going to be really, really odd against us because psychologically we've lost to Bournemouth. We are now traveling to Etihad.
Yeah, but we've also lost to City before, and you lost the FA Cup as well.
Because the fact is, we should not look at Arsenal as the team that is on form when it comes to Champions League, and we are off form when it comes to league. Because the minute that begins to play in those players' minds,
very tight.
You're going to win against Sporting because you are saying your form is on Champions League. Then the next thing is you are losing the league. Yeah. And when you lose the league, when you have been number one for so long, and you find that you are now on points, same points with Manchester City, with 2 games or 3 games to go. Psychologically, you are off. Psychologically, they are on.
Sure. It's very, because what I can tell you now, it's gonna get more frustrating for Arsenal, given the previous results, and 2, there's a big chance. If City does catch up and win the league, there's a big chance that the goal system will be in place. There's a big chance. So now I think we're at that stage where if you're scoring, every goal counts. It's not just about the 3 points.
Yeah.
Because looking at the numbers, it's not easy. It's not easy for Arsenal to lose. It's not easy for City to then catch up and have more points.
Yeah.
But I see a very big chance of level in terms of points, and then the goal difference point rule come into place.
Yeah.
And that's going to be very, very difficult.
Yeah. Just like in the game, as players you are told, play until the last minute.
Absolutely.
Forget about the score, forget about the goals. Same thing with the league. Play until the last game.
Yeah.
Because, honestly speaking, today we're talking about 9 points. Prior to that, at one time we talked about the 6 points gap. What happened? You played a draw against West Ham. And when we played a draw against West Ham, you then begin to doubt, hey, are we going to catch up? Yeah. Simply because we have lost against Bournemouth, you are now saying, hey, this is where our chance is. But again, how many games are we left with? Arsenal is left with 6 games. You are left with 7 games.
7 games.
Those are still points to play for, points to compete for, and then all we have to do, as I said, it's a marathon. Up until the last hurdle, we are still going to have these outcomes. A win, a lose,
the last added minutes, not even the last minutes,
the
last added
minutes.
That's how competitive it is. Yeah. But looking a bit more tactical with the game, what do you think went wrong? Because given the stats from the match, Arsenal had more shots.
Yeah.
The shots on target were equal.
Yeah.
And Arsenal had the most possession of the ball
Yeah.
during the game. And from what I saw or what I picked up was the Arsenal, they pretty much had the game in control. But somehow they got punished for a few, I don't know if I say mistakes or errors or whatever.
Yeah. To me, let's remember, your ball possession does not give you any point.
Absolutely, but
Scoring a goal gives you points.
But it does say something
Right.
about controlling the game.
It does. But that is why they sometimes say, ball possession, what do you have to show for it? That is why I also say it's good to have ball possession, because when you are playing in a game and you are planning for a game, you're planning to dominate.
Yeah.
On top of that, to create, and then you score the goals. I'm happy with the Arsenal dominating. But be careful and cautious of the teams that will allow you to dominate, more especially in certain areas. We will allow you to dominate in certain areas. We know we're good, but where we know that you will hurt us are the areas where we close you down. So which means on your side, you are frustrated as much as you are dominating the game, because you are dominating the games where you are not where you don't want to dominate.
Well, you're
the
not
game.
a threat.
Yes, that is why I'm saying dominating the game is something else. Therefore, if you then begin to say, for Arsenal, we dominated the game, fair enough, we should at Etihad. At Emirates. But did we really push and press and created those scoring chances? No. But again, look at us in terms of how we consider these two goals. The first one, it was not even supposed to be a goal, because the guy passed that ball into the box and it hit Saliba's foot, and it bounced to the guy at the end of the line, and then he slotted it home. So that was pure mistake, because if Saliba had played that ball, or if it had bounced on his foot and it went to the goalkeeper, we're not going to concede. Then you look at the second goal that they scored. We really relaxed in that particular area where they just pointed the ball here and they played the ball into the middle. Then thereafter they just put the ball into the net. We are not supposed, because we are supposed to be very strong and tight in terms of defending. So these are the things and the aspects of the game that you should be able to look at and really enforce in terms of you not being, because you'll dominate at the end of the day. We dominated them, they lost. We lost and they won.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But again, in terms of us, I don't know whether, because Rice was there, Zubimendi was there. I don't know whether
Eze was there.
Eze was there. I don't know whether it's taking psychological in terms of your Saka not being there, your Odegaard not being. But you do have your core
solid,
in terms of your
yeah.
team. We should have, honestly speaking, bulldoze ourselves and score goals, because even the goal that he scored was just a pure penalty. So which means out of playing, we never created to score. That is why I'm saying possibly something is going wrong in their minds.
No, absolutely.
So Arteta should really sit down with them in terms of, guys, let's go back and, because to me, tactically, in terms of that game, we were just poor. We never expressed ourselves. Yeah.
I think again, football is very interesting, because it's not just about how you run, how your skills, your tactics, your plan, and all of that. It's also a lot more about being mentally prepared.
Sure.
And I think that's that's what maybe is wrong. Because for me, it was very interesting, because Arsenal were not as much of a threat like they would normally be, and it was frustrating. I was like, something is wrong. I saw Eze just roaming around midfield, and I'm like, he's a goal scorer. he taps in. He does all those things. You know, like what's going on. But yeah,
That's why I was saying, I don't know what was happening with these guys. Whether they were playing a midweek game against Sporting in their minds, and again playing a game against Manchester City in the weekend. Because those are the things that we have to cut against. But again, because of time, let us look at the game, Sunday's game, Manchester City and Arsenal, Etihad.
Chelsea.
No. But I don't want to talk about Chelsea. I just want to
They
talk about
disappointed you
the game
when you trusted them.
The game that is coming. I want to talk about the game that is coming. If you win that game, you are going to close the gap to what? 3 points?
Yeah.
And then with the game in hand.
Yeah. So that basically, there's a big chance. Yeah. So I think for me, to be quite honest, I'm not being biased. Just looking at the form with City and the focus at the moment with them having to, because for them they've got nothing else going on. It's just
True.
Premier League.
Yeah.
FA Cup, not even as much. I would say Premier League.
Yeah.
And that's all they have, because they're a proud team. They've done well. They've won so many competitions, so many Premier Leagues in the past. So they wanna do best. It's quality players. It's proud players. They want to keep the name big, you know. And so, looking at City now and the form they're on, I don't see Arsenal winning at Etihad. Maybe a draw, but yeah, we'll have a look.
So advantage from your side, because I still have a midweek game too. A very taxing very taxing midweek game.
Again.
I'm going to play.
So I mean, there's still a massive chance that you can win both games. Absolutely, it's football.
Let me praise myself for that. But one thing that is on my mind now is to win against Sporting and not to lose
On Sunday.
On Sunday. That's it.
Yeah, but because again, Sporting is also gonna bring everything they've got. It's not gonna be a walkover thing.
Most definitely.
Now that you know that you can be beaten at Emirates.
Yeah.
Bournemouth proved it. You're like, you can
Exactly, because
so you can get it again.
I'm glad you're putting another factor, because to Sporting,
and that's,
they'll be saying if Bournemouth beat them 2-1, we can also go to.
But also that says a lot with you prior the match,
Yeah.
the confidence you have. Because I've heard like a friend who's like, you never beat Arsenal at home, but it just happened. And what do you think Sporting is going to do? They're like, we're going to bring everything we've got.
We just gave Sporting a psychological edge. That's it.
Yeah. So I see. What do you see predictions on Sporting and Arsenal?
I can beat them 2-0 because I know and understand. Because if they would come to Emirates, if they can come to Emirates, and then with the mindset that Bournemouth has won against Arsenal, we are going to see an open game. If we see an open game, I will beat them.
I'm not sure. I don't know. But that's it, guys, for today.
Open game, I will
like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think about obviously the upcoming matches. What do you think about the league, which I think has been our main topic for today. And yeah, that is all from us. We'll catch you soon.
Thank you. Nothing lost, nothing won as yet. It's a marathon. See you next time.